Hey everybody, so I'm going to do a bonus video today. I'm going to cover the grand Fibonacci and like how to set it up and what to expect from it. So right now, and I'm also going to go over Sol too, what Sol's doing, but I'd really just want to show you the grand Fib and kind of use Ethereum as an example. Alright, so you come over here, right, go to the Fibonacci retracement. I think I have the grand fib set up right now. So to set up the actual grand fib, here are the numbers. So take a picture of that and then set them up. And it's just a continuation from like 0.618 all past 1, if that makes sense. So there's a mathematical equation to get all of these numbers, right? So it's, instead of it being the numbers below 1, it's above 1, okay? And it works really, really well. So you don't really have to understand it all that much, just know how to use it. Okay, so that's it right there. You'll set these numbers up and then you'll go to Save As, and then just do it as grand Fibonacci. Okay. All right. So, for example, this is all that we saw. So right here. So we knew that the bottom was in on ETH. So let's get rid of this for a second. So we knew the bottom was in right here for ETH. So what you want to do with the grand Fibonacci, say, okay, so we're going to go to the high here, and we're going to go to this low right here, the lowest point, the highest point, the lowest point. Sometimes you need to keep wicks in it. Sometimes you want to take the wicks out and only use the candles. Like for example, right here, we're using wicks too, for the most part. Okay, now all you see right here is this third level. Okay, so you're gonna be like, all right, so if Ethereum breaks this high, our next target is this level. Okay, all you saw at this point, it was at $384. So you're like, okay, well, the next target is 4,000. The next one, if we pass that, is going to be 7,000, and then 11,000. Okay, so you don't know exactly which one it's going to hit, but you know that if it breaks to a new high and closes, the next level is going to be this. Alright, so now we're going to zoom out, and then we're going to follow it where it ended up. Now look where this big sell-off was, literally right at the grand Fibonacci level. Okay, came back up, retested it again, and got rejected again. It almost looked like this was actually going to hit the next high, so this was pretty difficult to pick. However, you could have taken profits here, bought back at support, and then made a little extra money here. Even if you bought back in, you could have resold right there and then didn't ride this whole thing out. So that's one way to do the grand Fibonacci. Alright, and that's on ETH. So let's look at ADA. Looking for a chart that shows everything here. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's put okay, so for example, you wouldn't use, let me get rid of this real quick. Sorry, there's a lot of stuff on this chart. It's a really, really old chart. Okay, so this one also hit 3, right? Hit 3 to the T. I'm not using wicks on this one. I'm just using the candles, I believe. Let me see. Well, let's even push it up to the wick here. Normally you want to do it like on a weekly chart, really. Weekly or monthly. So there, that's better. So no wick on the weekly here. Let's bring this up. Okay, all the way to the low, no wick, right? So it hit this third level to the T and then sold off. So that's basically what I wanted to show and how to use it. Some of the other ones you could probably do it with, you can do this with any coin for the most part. As long as it lines up here properly, you'll be able to pick the top pretty easily. There's going to be a little bit of variance, right? So you want to have like probably a 10% box area just to make sure, because you could you know, do it incorrectly. You're not going to do it perfect every time. Now it's nice whenever you have previous data, because you can actually line it up a lot better. Like for BTC, you can line that up really well because there's a whole bunch of history. But for ADA, there's not a whole lot of history. So like for the next cycle here, you would not use wicks, right? All right, so let's take a look at Sol, and let's try to see what we're doing on this one. Okay, so I drew this out a long time ago for the group, or a while ago. I don't remember when it was. And this is just like a projection of what is possible if Sol does not make a new high. Just because it went up so much here, it's hard for me to believe that it's going to make a new high, but it is possible. This count would be invalidated, obviously, if wave 3 goes, if we end up, at a new high at sometime early next year or something like that. But I would expect kind of like we're doing 3 right now, and then maybe we end up at 120 or something like that if we don't sell off right now, and then you can have a long extended pullback, and then the 5th wave here, and then an ABC correction, right? And then a new high next time. But this is one count. The next count is that this thing just completely goes crazy, and then we end up doing something like ETH where the price is at $750. But at the end of the cycle. So it's always good to sit here and say, okay, so the probability of, if we make it up to where ETH got to last cycle, there's a 700% gain from this point in time. Okay, your risk is that it sells off right now, comes all the way down to $40 or something like that, some type of support level. So could I pull some profits out? Is it worth the risk? Is it worth the reward? Can I hold on to some and just see? Can I take some profits? Like if you really bought somewhere down here, I mean, you're up almost, you're like 800% or something crazy. So that's a good amount of money to be made right now. Okay, so it does look like we're in a wave 3 here, right? I mean, this is more impulsive. If I had to draw like a sub-wave, I could do that too. So in wave 3, we've done 1, 2. You know, we could have finished 3 here, had a small little pullback, and then we're finishing out 5. Or, you know, we could have just a little bit more to go. And then it just kind of depends on the count, right? It just depends on this whole cycle count. Now 3 could make it up here and then break to a new high, pull back for 6 months or whatever and break to a new high. That's possible too. There's just a lot of things that can happen. If we look at the indicators here, I was looking at them earlier today, and it still looks like there's not really much slowing this down. I mean, there's no divergence on the weekly. It's still growing momentum-wise. However, you do have divergence on the 3-day, so we're getting close to a local top. Close in time. And then you've got divergence on the daily on a couple different time frames. Your next level is like 120, I think, is the fib level, so I'm going to pull this off real quick. And then let's actually look at I don't know why I shouldn't have pulled that off. So let's go to apply as defaults. Yeah, your next level here is 130. So it's lines up with this one, this pullback, right? So it's plugged on there correctly, at least for the most part. So the next level here is 126. If we break this level where we're at now, $100, which is pretty strong psychological resistance, you'd end up at 125, and then surely you'd have a strong pullback after that. But most likely this is going to, if you exited here, you probably could get this cheaper, at least from what I'm looking at. You know, some of these coins just go crazy, right? But it's difficult to really know. Alright guys, that's what I wanted to cover. I just wanted to do a little bonus video for everybody, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you all next time.